Welcome to BBB, the Beauty Business Builder. This is the leading podcast in beauty business development. If you're ready to feel unstoppable and take your beauty business to the next level, then you're in the right place. Subscribe to this podcast so you don't miss an episode. You can connect with Essjay Hartshorn on social media and subscribe to Essjay's YouTube channel. Welcome to BBB.
This amazing lady works in the beauty industry, and she coaches and empowers individuals to create their own beauty businesses. But being successful in business is not just about your business. It's about how you manage yourself. So she's going to talk to us today about her self-discipline and also share her morning routine, which is something I'm really excited about and interested about because I've started this week a new morning routine. And by the time this podcast goes out, I'll probably be a couple of weeks into it. So hopefully it'll still be flowing. But I'm interested to hear her routine because I can't believe the difference in my productivity and my relationship with food over the last 3 days just because I've tweaked some things and getting up a little bit earlier and things. So without further ado, I would like to welcome to the show the fabulous Essjay. Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Good, very well, thank you. Very good. Yes.
Good. Excellent. So if we can start off with just tell us a little bit about yourself, because I also know you're a dancer, which I didn't mention at the start.
Yes, I am. So yes, my name is Essjay, and I, like you said, I've been in the beauty industry for 21 years. But I now help coach and support beauty entrepreneurs to kind of diverse and pivot their business, especially the recent year that we've had. I do a lot of support and coaching for them. But where I find, where people find that I'm very inspiring is what I do day to day and how motivated I am. Now, my background is I've been brought up with food and healthy living. I've been brought up by two bodybuilders. My mum and dad were both bodybuilders when I was very young. So health, keeping fit, health, food has been something that's been pretty much embedded in me. But I do find that people's relationship with food, obviously, you need to learn a lot of that as well, because you can easily get stuck in ruts with it. But I'm very active. I dance a lot. I've danced since I could walk. I now rollerblade. That's something I started in the beginning of lockdown. I couldn't get out jogging because I've got a bit of a dodgy hip, so I bought some blades. So I've bladed 4 times a week since the beginning of March without fail. I've been out this morning -1. So I'm very motivated, and obviously that shows in my business and what I do for my clients, coaching them, but it also, it reflects in my day ahead in terms of how good I feel. So it makes me want to eat well, exercise, do well. So yeah, I think, the way you start the day, like you were saying, your morning routine, the way you start your day for me is a massive thing with just life in general, not just health and fitness, but in everything, in all walks of life. It is the way you start the day, I think, is pinnacle to how that day is going to go ahead.
So do you have a set routine of what you do every single day?
I try to. I have 2 young children, so I think a lot of people will always kind of set up, I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't wake up early because I've got 2 young kids. I've got a 3-year-old that's going through night terrors at the moment, so things can change. But me and my ex are separated, so I find that when I can really do my full morning routine that I want to do is when I've not got the children in the morning. But I still try and do I still try and do my morning routine a little bit later, so get them to school and nursery and then do my exercise, let's say. But yeah, I do have, what I try to do in the morning is, and this is what I teach a lot of my clients as well, is what I try and do is make sure that the first thing you do when you wake up, you're doing something for yourself. because I think straight away, especially with mobile phones, social media, I would say 90% of people get on the phone in the morning. So you get on your phone, before you know it, you're scrolling, you're comparing. So you might see somebody's weight loss journey, or you might see, in my industry, somebody doing better than you in business, because obviously we only share good stuff, don't we? So you see all of that, and then straight away you start getting in a bit of a negative headspace. So I do not go on social media first thing in the morning. I get up, I have my hot water and lemon. I go downstairs if the kids are still awake or they're in my bed because they've woke up earlier. I'll leave them on an iPad. I'll go down. I think they can have the iPad, but I'm not having one. And then I go downstairs, have a hot water and lemon. I put on some nice chilled out music, and I just have a moment, really. Obviously, I've not got the kids. That's when I then go out and exercise. But I think just waking up and not being distracted by chores or a mobile phone, and just doing something for yourself, I think it makes you feel really good. And I think if you feel good, then that day ahead is going to be a fantastic day. That's how I look at it.
I totally agree. And I was listening to something the other day, and the quote that I remember from it was, if you want to win the day, win the first hour. And I thought
Definitely.
that just sums it up brilliantly.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know who it was, but I think it was a soldier talking about, when you wake up, do you one task, like you make your bed, and you've then straight away you've started doing something, you've started being proactive that day. But yeah, I think you can easily get sucked into waking up, sorting out the kids, getting the washing in, getting on the phone, replying to WhatsApps, and then before you know it, the kids are at school and you're sat there and you're stressed before you start. But just have it, even 5 minutes, you don't need, I would love to be able to get up and rollerblade every morning, because I get a good podcast on. I've always got podcasts on my rollerblade, and I just really unwind, listen to what inspires me. And I would love to do that every morning. But in the real world, people have children, people have other things that they have to do. So even if it is just, or doing some stretches, one of my ladies who is on the beauty program with me, the coaching program, she used to do yoga. I'm like, just get up and do leave your mobile phone away, just get up, go downstairs and do like 5 minutes of stretches, really kind of get you energized and open yourself up. And then you just find that I found that I beam all day. I just find that I'm so smiley and positive all day, which just then wins the day, like you said.
Yeah, it's like you say, it's doing something for you, isn't it? And my morning routine, that's what I've been doing this week, because my little girl is not at school, as lots of children aren't at the moment. And I've realised that I'm getting up with her, and I'm worrying about everything that I've got to do with her. And it's kind of, I'm not getting anything done for me.
Yep.
And I'm getting stressed. And then, you get agitated with them. So I've decided that I'm getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I'm getting up, I'm sitting, like you say, with my hot water in a semi-lit room, and I'm visualizing how I want the day to be. I'm thanking the universe, because I'm a big believer in gratitude.
Yeah.
And kind of, I plan my day in 30-minute sections. And then I've been doing some studying, because I'm doing a new course at the moment, a nutrition course. And then I finish with a Joe Wicks workout, and that's all before 7:30. So then she wakes up around 7:30, and I feel like I've had me time, and I've achieved something. I've been productive, and I'm set up for the day. And I've only been doing it for 3 days. I feel a different person. It's incredible.
Yeah, but I bet you don't feel, this is a lot of people will think, oh, I could just stay in bed that extra hour. I bet you don't feel, you won't feel any more tired. Because a lot of people, like, I wake up at 5 because I still go to bed at 10 or 11. But I don't, waking up earlier and setting off the day earlier, it doesn't make you feel any more tired at night time. I mean, if anything, once you get that into your routine, you will feel better, because obviously exercise, movement, all of that, and healthy food will give you more energy for the day.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, I started doing it a bit of like journaling in the morning. So I'd sit down, I'd write down, what I achieved the day before, which so is a good thing, what I want to achieve today and what I'm going to achieve in 10 years' time. So they're my goals, which are like quite far-fetched, but they're going to be there. So I started doing that. I don't do it all the time, but if I've got a quiet moment, I'll sit and do that. And even if you just wake up, like you said, and have, even if it's not just a full-on workout and you're just having them 10, 15 minutes, just write down a few notes of what you want to do that day or what you feel that day is going to be. Because I think when things are documented, when you've put something down on paper, you're going to stick to that. So if if it's all about, health and food, and you think to yourself, you know what, I'm going to make sure that I drink my 10 glasses of water today. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to replace coffee for hot water and lemon today. If you write it down, then you've put it on paper. So then it will make you think twice when you are maybe tempted to go for them things that you shouldn't be going for. So it does set you off so well. Morning routine for me is just the, like you said, that first hour, you catch that first hour, then plain sailing for the rest of the day.
Yeah, definitely. And writing it down. Oh, my clients must get sick of me saying, keep a journal, log it down. But it is, you are committing to it. If you write down what you want to achieve, you are committing to it. And once you have committed to it and you have a plan, you are far, far more likely to achieve it than when you just say, oh, I'll eat less tomorrow, or I'll get that job done tomorrow. And it's 3 weeks later and you haven't done it. So I'm a massive, massive believer in writing it down. Definitely.
I think with it, like in life, we plan everything. So like you plan your kids' parties, you plan get-togethers, you plan celebrations, you plan everything. But do people plan, like with me when I'm doing my coaching, do they plan their long-term goals? Do they plan where they want to be? Do they plan what they want to achieve from their health and fitness? Or do they plan what they want their body to look like next year? People don't plan that. They're just like, you know what? Yeah, I want to lose some weight. Or, yeah, I want to do this. But do they actually, document and plan it? We don't. And that's why each day we'll just put it off, we'll put it off, and we'll put it off. So no, I'm like that as well. I do that with all my clients. I'm glad I'm not the only one. It's all like, write it down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Write it down. Yeah, no, I love it.
So I've got another question for you.
Yeah.
How do you stay motivated?
How do I stay motivated? I think I'm a very motivated person anyway, and I think I have inherited the nickname Machine in a lot of seriously. The funny thing is that I'm in quite a lot of different kind of like coaching programs over the years, and I've never told anybody what my nickname is. But then before you know it, like a month down the line, God, Machine, your new nickname is Machine. So literally, I'm like the Terminator. But I think I'm very I'm very focused on long-term goals. I have short-term little goals. I have my long-term goals broke down. So if I were like with my health and fitness, I made a conscious effort at the beginning of March, even though I've never been big, but I want to be a lot healthier inside and out. I want to drop a bit of size. I want to be really toned. I had all of that, but I didn't set myself a time scale. And I think a lot of people will be like, I want to be looking my best in 3 months' time, or I want to have my full mindset sorted over food in 3 months' time. And I think because people put a time stamp on it, they then panic, I think. So I'm very much of my long-term goals, so where I want to be and what I want to do, and then I break them down and just day by day keep thinking of that really big picture. But the thing is, I'm still human. So like this morning, I took my little girl to her dad's and it was freezing outside. And I'm like, do I really want to blade today? I'm going to be freezing. And there's always that moment of, I don't want to do it. But then I always think to myself, you never regret a workout or you never regret any exercise. And once you've exercised, as soon as you've finished exercising, you feel amazing.
Yeah.
You never in a million years after a workout or after a healthy meal, after a takeaway and all of that you do, but after a really good healthy meal or after a really good exercise or a really good walk, you never sit down and think, oh, that made me feel awful. So I just get that out of my head and think, how am I going to feel in 30 minutes time? So I think I always look at that to keep me motivated. But I've always been, I'm a very competitive person as well. And I think kind of my competitiveness and motivation, it kind of like blends into one a little bit, because if someone's like the guy I get my rollerblades on, I'm serviced by him the day, and it's like, you can't blade in this weather, it's too icy. I'm like, yeah, I can. What do you mean you're telling me you can't? I'll show you. Nobody blades when it's -1. I'm like, do they not? I'll prove them wrong. So I have that kind of attitude. I don't think it's a good thing all the time, but it definitely keeps me motivated. But I've been brought up, I don't know, I touched on in the intro, my mum and dad are both bodybuilders. So the discipline that I've been brought up with around lifestyle and food and fitness has almost just been drilled into me. And it's just second nature. Like you when you were talking before this, you were saying about how some people are different, where you've always got to clear your plate and you always have your pudding after you have your meal. Whatever you've been brought up with will continue. And I've had the good part of that. I've had the good part of the discipline and knowing my foods and knowing what to eat, when to eat them. So, I do find that I've been brought up with people that have been very disciplined with, they want to get to that end result. They set a 2-year plan of becoming a bodybuilder, and they are very disciplined to that end result. And that's, I think, has just rubbed off on me as well. But yeah, but the morning routine sets me up for the day. If there's days when I don't do it and I don't feel as motivated that day, with my work, I don't feel as motivated. So that is definitely the first step, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree. And a moment ago, you just mentioned the word food, which reminds me, I think my listeners are always wondering what people eat, if they're struggling with food, and what choices to make. And I always say it's about finding what works for you, because what works for me might not work for you. But what would be a typical day's food for you? Because you've obviously got a really healthy relationship with your
What I do now, and this I like to do I try to fast overnight. So I try and have my last meal at 7, then I'll eat again at 11. So I find that keeps my weight down, but I still put my calories in my chunk of time that I eat. I don't calorie count. I used to, and I find that, yes, I did lose weight, but it never stayed. Okay. So what I tend to do is I've got a very high protein diet, and I do always try and choose dairy-free over dairy. So I'll always have like my my soya milk, my almond milk. But like if I exercise, I carb up. I eat a lot of carbs. So a lot of people think, well, you don't eat carbs. You shouldn't eat carbs if you want to lose weight. And it's like, well, no. If I'm doing a 40-minute HIIT session and I'm shaking afterwards, I'm having carbs afterwards. So I kind of change my eating depending on how much exercise I've done that day. So if I've exercised a lot, I will make sure within an hour of exercising, I'll have a high carb meal. But it's always brown pasta, brown rice, sweet potato. I don't have, your white carbs, white bread and stuff. But yeah, a typical day, obviously I have quite a late breakfast because of how I fast overnight. I have a homemade smoothie in the morning, which is beautiful. I've had it every morning for like 12 months. I love it. It's got frozen berries, peanut butter, protein powder, Greek yogurt. I do like my Greek yogurt. I can't stand soya yogurt. And porridge oats. But if I've exercised in the morning, I'll put a banana in. So I put my carbs in. So I always make sure that I substitute it for the exercise. I snack on fruit and rice cakes with peanut butter, I should pronounce my T's. But I'm a sucker for peanut butter. I never used to like it, and obviously it's a good protein source. Obviously, a lot of people that are bodybuilding and training swear by peanut butter for protein, but not the amount I eat. Not the amount I eat. That is borderline. That's borderline. Yeah, that's not good. So if I'm thinking, I'm a bit peckish, what do I have? I just get a spoon and just have like a mouthful. But there's worse things that I could be having. And then I'll have. So I only really have 2 big meals a day. I have a lot of snacks.
So I like a lot of fish. So I don't tend to eat a lot of meat. I went on a bit of a vegan experiment with vegan food a while ago, just to see how my body felt by cutting out animal fats. So I don't tend to eat a lot of meat, but I do eat a lot of fish. So I'll have like pasta and fish and mascarpone cheese, loads of chili spices. I'm always putting loads of flavour in my food. Vegetable curry last night with brown rice. So I don't tend to, everything I have is cooked. I don't have any freezer stuff or quick make stuff. But then again, everything is really quick. Like the vegetable curry, I just shove loads of veg in the oven with Thai paste and coconut milk, and 20 minutes later it was ready. So I don't take a lot of time cooking, but I don't have any kind of like packet meals or stuff to shove in the oven. I've just never had that. It's not something that is in my nature to cook. And I've got a bit, you know how busy my lifestyle is. I have such a busy lifestyle with kids and 2 or 3 businesses on the go. And if I can find time to actually cook a meal, I think people can, I think sometimes it's down to, it can be a little bit lazy. Some people like to have the quick fix, don't they?
Yeah. And I think, well, it's about putting yourself first as well, isn't it? Because I think what we do is we tell ourselves we haven't got time because we've got to get the kids sorted and we've got to do this and we've got to do that. And it's, I suppose it's making time for yourself, because if you look after yourself now, you're going to be here for your kids, grandchildren and everything else. It's putting yourself first. And I think some of the conversations I've had with clients over the years is that they feel like they're being selfish if they put themselves first and they make time for them, whether it's for exercising or meal prep. But it's sometimes you do have to be that little bit selfish and put that time in your diary to.
But the thing is, I think it's the kids too. So like on a night time, when I like to do a HIIT session at night time, and what I do, my routine at night is I put my youngest to bed at 6:30 and my eldest goes to bed at 7:45. So in that time, I could easily come downstairs and tidy up the crap that has been produced throughout the day, because you know what it's like with young children. But I don't. What I do is I set up my mat and I do a HIIT session. My daughter watches me and she'll count me down on my interval timer. Now and again, if she's not too tired, she gets up and does it with me. And she is now inheriting a really good mindset around health, and she's 7. So, there's some days where I said, do you want a chocolate bar or do you want a treat? And she's like, well, you know what? No, let's just make exercise. But not that I teach you that you can't have treats. I say you're active, but she makes good decisions around food herself at 7 years old. My 3-year-old, she's a demon. I don't know who she's from, but we've still got time with that one. My 7-year-old, she sees me exercising, and then I'll go and get her some snacks to eat before bed, and she'll watch me. I'll then get all my vegetables all cut in the oven, sit them in the oven, and then I still have 15 minutes with her while my dinner's cooking. So in that 1 hour and 45, I've trained, I've taught my daughter, this is what we do to stay healthy. I've done a bit of cooking with her, and I've then still sat down at 15 minutes before bed.
Amazing.
You could easily fill that 1 hour and 45 minutes. Yes, you could just sit and have some time watching TV with them, and yes, I do that half of the week. But I think it's also it's good for them to see. It's good for them to see that you are not just kind of a slave to them. You are a person, and you also, want to be healthy and want to do something for yourself. And I think that's, especially for a daughter and a mother, I think it's a really good thing to see that the mum is not just the housewife, whatever you are, and just cleaning up after more time, that you are a person as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I'm really conscious about what I pass on to my little one and how I talk about food, because I think they pick up, don't they? And because I've got clients that I see, and when she asks me what I do, it's kind of like I help people be healthy. I never say I help people lose weight. I never let her see me step on the scales, even when I go through my obsessive weigh-in daily. I never let her see that, because I don't want her to think it's normal to get up in the morning, go to the toilet and jump on the scales. My biggest achievement in life will be not passing my food issues to her. That is my biggest aim.
Yeah, you've already got that around you anyway. Unfortunately, the way life is, social media, all these influences that we see out there, I think bringing up girls is going to be a tough job when they. How old's your daughter?
She's 6.
She's 6, so similar.
Yeah.
You know, fast forward 4 years, we're going to have hell on because everything around them, you know, with social media, with TV, with everything, already on these little YouTube videos, you can see it all happening. So I think it's really important that at home, real life, that they are seeing really good examples. But yeah, I'm very much the same. I never say like, Reagan will say to me, "Oh, we're having a smoothie for today." I said, "Well, I like to make healthy choices, and I prefer this than having some toast." Oh, okay. I never say because I want to lose weight.
No.
Losing weight is. I don't even weigh myself. I've not weighed myself since January. My clothes are looser. I'm fine with that. I don't even weigh myself anymore. I never say lose weight. You know, we never say, yeah. And like with your clients, when you're talking to them, you don't say we have to do this because we need to lose fat. It's all about being healthy, you know. So yeah, I think it's so important to pass that down to your kids. And what better way for them to see you exercising and for them to see you cooking healthy food?
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, you don't have to preach to them. They can just watch you.
As you say, all of your habits are instilled from what you've learned from your parents. And, you know, it's just repeating that, isn't it? Rather than me repeating, telling her to eat everything off her plate and she can have a pudding if she eats her dinner. It's about teaching her healthy choices and being healthy and what foods are healthy and not so healthy. Yeah. And I really try not to use the word good and bad food because it's just, that's healthy. That's not so healthy for you. Maybe you shouldn't eat it every day and just be really relaxed about it.
No, definitely. I agree with that.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much. It's been really, really great to talk to you, and I'm sure our listeners have got lots of value from everything we've talked about. So
I hope so. And I'll share this on even though it's not, obviously I've got a podcast as well, BBB, Beauty Business Builder, if anybody is in the beauty industry, but I'll share this on mine as well, because I also think, you know, having that morning routine and having that positive outlook for the day. Obviously, we've been talking more about the food and the health and the lifestyle, but I think my listeners would love to hear this as well, because it shows them a little bit about me as well. So if I can, I'll share this on mine as well.
Absolutely. I mean, they're general life skills, aren't they? At the end of the day, it's about living a fuller, happier, enhanced life.
Yeah.
And living longer.
Definitely. No, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. And I'm so grateful that I was your first interviewee.
Yes, I am. You've made it very easy for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. So thank you again, Essjay, being our first guest on the Power Over Food podcast. I'm sure our listeners, as I said, have got huge value from it. And I'll look forward to speaking to you again soon.